We're moving on to Rene Kirchner from TotalEnergies. From a fuel provider perspective, looking at hydrogen refueling stations and at the expansion of the national infrastructure. Rene is head of business development for Total in Germany and has been active in the hydrogen sector for quite some time. Rene, we're very much looking forward to your presentation and to your view on the refueling station network and its expansion in Germany.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I just have to show. Does this work?
Yes, we see a slide.
Okay. Good. So thank you very much for having the opportunity today to present TotalEnergies' rollout ambitions of the hydrogen filling stations in Europe and especially in Germany. And I would like to thank you to the CEP for the organization as well, because as far as we are working since 2002 already on the standardization processes and all the development in terms of hydrogen mobility, I'm highly appreciating the partnership and all the partners being around as well today. So for TotalEnergies, it's worth to mention that from oil to a gas company and now to an energy producer or electricity producer, TotalEnergies transforms to the renewable electricity producer with a target of 35 gigawatt installed capacities in 2025 and 100 gigawatt by 2030. And to put the TotalEnergies rollout targets into relation, we need to focus not only on H2, but as crucial part to help to decarbonize the mobility sector, but as well on other sources or fuels. And here you can see that we are in strong partnerships. For example, we are shareholder since the founding 2015 of H2 Mobility in Germany, or of HysetCo in France, and as well in strategic partnerships with, for example, OEMs. And we have an MOU and a strategic partnership with Daimler Truck as well. So we aim to develop 150 hydrogen filling stations in Europe by 2030. And those stations could be operated directly or indirectly. And the main focus here is the long haul segment. And how do we do this? We want to achieve this road ambition, and therefore we use our existing retail station network at TotalEnergies. And our core markets are France, Germany, and Benelux, the so-called E5. And without the subsidies, for the huge investments in the technology, at least for 700 bar high flow refueling for trucks, we need those subsidies. And to get access, it is very important to have strong partnerships, corporations, or initiatives. And that will help us to finally bring all participants in that ramp-up phase as well together, what is very important. And the point we need to address as well is the start with the pilot projects. What we are aiming is one point, but the other is how do we build our network of the 150 stations I mentioned in Europe. And maybe as one example of one of the pilot projects you can see here is that TotalEnergies had just announced the project HySet with its partners BMW, DHL, Volvo, Kia, and Deutz, where we aim to develop stations for the hydrogen refueling of the trucks, who transport goods from or for BMW to its plans. And from my point of view, that's a very good example where we can bring via this pilot project all participants together to finally decarbonize the transportation sector, yeah, as one example. But not only or partnerships they help us to identify those pilot sites. But the question as well is how do we start with which locations and where besides those pilot projects. And therefore, we know as TotalEnergies that our international customers, so for the transportation sector, are looking for a retail network compared to its conventional operations. Yeah, that's very important. So the aim would be to connect in the first step as well the industrial and commercial areas, harbors and airports, along the main highway corridors in Europe, and to equip them with H2. Yeah. But in addition, and that's very challenging as well, the availability of renewable hydrogen, at least low carbon, yeah, in a first step, and then the potential transport and logistics connections. So I mean, for example, the challenge is to bring the hydrogen to the refueling station, yeah, and the best way would be actually to connect to a pipe where you don't have the trailers coming around maybe once a day or every 2 days. So we have to find or we need to consider all those angles, yeah, conditions and boundaries to find the most suitable spots to start with this core TotalEnergies network of H2 filling sites in E5 and focused in Germany, as you can see on the right side. As shareholder of H2 Mobility, we host as well H2M stations on our premises, and which allows as well to integrate this approach with our GVs we are invested in. Yeah, it's not only H2 Mobility for Germany; it's as well for friends with HySetCo. And in a nutshell, for Germany, we target to install up to 14 hydrogen filling stations for heavy-duty refueling, very important, but not excluding light vehicle or light commercial vehicles. So our target would be to have at least 2 dispensers for trucks or buses, so for heavy duty, and at least one dispenser as well on the forecourt located for the light commercial vehicles and light vehicles as well, so passenger cars by 26. And we host 22 hydrogen filling stations of our GV H2 Mobility in Germany. And maybe just to point that out, it is the most complex situation next to the availability of this renewable energy here, hydrogen, as I mentioned, is the question of the state of aggregation of the hydrogen the OEMs plans to use. So we've heard today several times 350 bar compressed. We heard cry compressed from Tobias Brunner, but as well as 700 bar. For example, if you can read the announcement of other players, it is 700 bar being set, or even liquid hydrogen. So it's key for us as an operator, with our operator's point of view, to discuss all pros and cons with the OEMs, as the segment of logistics and transportations is the most sensitive regarding fuel costs. So that would be my closing statement, that there's no standard set yet, yeah, where it goes for us as operator and as energy provider. We are going to offer at least in the first phase all requests, or we meet all requests or requirements from our customers. But at the end of the day, we are looking for or towards a standard, a common standard, where we can rely on at the end of the day. Yes, that would be so. Open for discussion and happy to discuss at least this point as well with the aggregation, set of aggregation, but as well the other points. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Rene. for the good overview. Leading on just with the immediate question to what you just said. I mean, we've heard, and you said, we've heard about the different variants of hydrogen refueling, liquid compressed gases, or just cryocompressed. How, and you said, well, we need somebody to tell us what we have to offer. How much lead time would you need, or do you think the providers, technology providers, as well as the station operators need to actually put these things in place? I mean, what is the, and we talked about the short time available till 2030. So where's the pressure, and what's the timeline that you would be demanding if you had a choice?
Yeah, so in the first step, 700 bar for light vehicle refueling. Yeah, the 8 kilogram is available, this protocol. We have 350 bar, it's available as well. 700 bar high flow, we are working on that standard. So hopefully maybe next year or beginning the year after next, we will have all the applications in place. The same for SLH2, cryocompressed. So there is already something which we could use. So 350 bar, for example, that is available. So we can use it, and we are going to do this. But as well as I said, for our HiSet project, we are aiming to offer as well 700 bar high flow. So we will start having the technology being ready to be upgraded to 700 bar high fuel if nozzle and so on is available. So, and that is, first of all, the approach we can go. And then we will see as well what's about the fuel costs at the end of the day, yeah, in terms of compression and so on, to see where are the prices as well for the selling of the hydrogen in a different state of aggregation. And that's going to be a very crucial step from my point of view, yeah, to see what's the development of pricing as well, yeah, for the certain state of aggregation.
Right. Excellent. Well, thank you very much again, Rene.